Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Welcome back to the show. We are so excited to have the founder of Dreamscape Aerials joining us here today. Joseph Mazzola live on the podcast and Zoomcast today. My fellow Long Islander. Yes, he's born and raised in New York, and his business is amazing. He's a professional drone service provider based out of the heart of Long Island here in New York, but really focuses on the tri-state area with so many different projects. So Joseph, welcome. How are you?
Good afternoon, Jill. I'm doing great, and it's finally nice to put a voice to a face. First live stream. Here we go.
Absolutely. Same here. So excited to get started with you today. And the work you do is simply amazing. For those that don't know yet, tell us a little about what you do at the company.
Thank you so much. So I'm the founder of Dreamscape Aerials, LLC. We're a professional drone service provider based on Long Island. Next week is actually going to be our 4th anniversary of starting the business. I began it because my hobby of aerial photography, flying drones, grew into a passion. And when COVID struck in 2020, I was experiencing some personal challenges and professional ones in my life. I was let go from my former job. And I learned you could make money and that this was a budding industry, flying drones professionally. So to get things started, I pursued my Part 107 license. And once I received that, I relied on some background academia to form my own business. Finally settled on a name, incorporated here as a single member LLC in New York State, and have just hit the ground running ever since.
Beautiful. Well, excited to have you here. Tell us the website and social media pages, please.
For sure. It's www.dreamscapeaerials.com. And you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok at dreamscape_aerials.
All right, so let's talk about the type of work you're doing, because really the drone imaging and consulting is for a wide range of different types of clients. Would you mind sharing?
Absolutely. And I definitely like to think of myself as a bit of a generalist in that regard. It's taken a broad array of experience in different fields to build that reputation and a diverse investiture in different equipment. But we work in several different industries, the most prominent ones being solar, marketing events, real estate, construction, and we've gotten to do a really great range of projects just in recent weeks. Summer's the busy season and we're going full steam ahead. Starting tomorrow, we'll actually be back at Great South Bay Music Festival down in Patchogue here on Long Island.
Wait, hold on. I live close by there. It's tomorrow.
You do?
It's tomorrow already? Wait, I live in Holmesville, but I saw the signs and I was away for a while. So wait, it's actually this weekend. Yay!
It is. Tomorrow already. I can't believe it. It'll be our 3rd year working with the organizer. So very excited to be back. We have our own station near the main stage, and we've developed a really good rapport with them, local security and law enforcement, to fly our drones safely and effectively in accordance with FAA and local regulations. And the content we get is amazing. I think last year, Goldfinger was there, along with some other great, rock acts, and we're looking very forward to this one as well. Just hoping the weather holds up and nobody drops from a heat stroke.
Amazing. And just curious, how did you land this job? Just curious. Do you know someone, or was it a cold call, or did they see your work?
This was actually a referral through a partner of mine, Jason Klein. I'd love to have him on one of these episodes soon. He formerly worked in the music industry, and we were able to get in touch with Jim Faith, who runs Great South Bay Music Festival and is also a part of the Long Island Music Hall of Fame. So we really like working in this field, particularly for live events, big concert enthusiast myself, and it's really business and pleasure mixing together. So we're thrilled about it.
Amazing. This is exciting. And now that we're on a Zoom, do we have more Zooms coming up, I hope?
I believe we do.
Good, because I would love for you, I don't know if you could do it today or not to put you on the spot, but we should share your screen. We should be able to look at your website. I want to see some of the work you do, if you don't mind, in the future, or if not today. Tell us also, because you've also have done a lot of TV and film. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? You had a big project recently, right?
That's right. Just about a month ago, I was bouncing around with a British production company called Like a Shot Entertainment. I'd worked with them before by licensing some footage of Montauk Lighthouse to them, and I saw they were looking for someone to fill in on a project for Hidden America. It's a show on Discovery Channel. So I assisted
Ah,
with the filming of season 4 at a couple locations. I'm not sure I can tell you which ones they were, but the show's due to be released early 2025.
that is exciting. And what other TV film projects have you done that you're proud of?
Earlier this year, we also got to work with another production company out of California. Was referred to them by a race organizer. It was our third year covering the Long Island Marathon over at
Mm-hmm.
Eisenhower Park in Nassau County. And they were filming a movie that I believe is going under the title Kate Might Die Right Now. It's a story about a woman who ran the race a few years ago while she was battling breast cancer. So we did some overhead establishing shots of the starting line, the actor running through the finish line, and a couple other scenes for the B-roll they needed.
Amazing. I love it. I love it. This is exciting work you do. And then also marketing. We touched upon construction a little, but also even weddings, huge venues like this. Tell me more.
Weddings are great. Haven't had too many lately, but that season is expected to go through the holidays. Any time of year is a good time for weddings. We typically work with third parties that are seeking a second or third shooter, someone to fulfill the role of a drone operator. But it's always better when we get to manage it directly. And that's something we can do now by having a team of experienced photographers and videographers. We can do full suite production in house to make the deliverables the clients, i.e., the newlyweds would like to see. So that's always a pleasure.
Now, tell me a little bit about your background. Where are you from? I know you grew up on Long Island, and how you got into this field. It's a great story, folks.
Thank you, Jill. Yeah, so like you, from Long Island originally, I grew up in East Northport and I'm still here. I,
Ooh,
I went to school up at your graduate days. And from there, I went on to pursue my master's at Hofstra University back here on Long Island, where I studied industrial organizational psychology. It's a sub concentration that's more geared toward business optimization and addressing human factors in the workplace. So people in that field tend to go into human resources, management consulting, people analytics, all these emergent new areas, especially with the rise of better technology. I relied on those skills to pursue a career in training and development at first. Used to work at American Management Association in New York City, where I'd manage a portfolio of classes for professional development. And between that experience and my own, I was able to really put a solid foundation together for my own business. And as the business has grown, we've expanded through not only providing drone services, but also drone education and entertainment. We deliver a 3-day remote pilot program, it's called, which is geared toward Part 107 preparation. So, a little bit like how I had to get my own license. We teach you everything you need to know to pass the exam, which is administered by the FAA. And we also give you a really solid footing to get started right out of the gate. Other than that, there's Long Island Drone Soccer, our newest venture, which is a gamified aerial sport where the drones are actually encased in these plastic globes. And I know you mentioned with the live stream, we can do some screen sharing. So perhaps on a future meeting, I'll be able to show you a little bit more content regarding that. But, flying drones started for me around 2016. They were really starting to hit their stride around then. It's actually when the license came out. And I was just seeing it in as a movie buff. These low altitude angles were something you couldn't traditionally do with a plane or a helicopter or even a gimbal crane. So just the technology getting popular and my own passion for cinema, I started to experiment with it, take it with me on trips, let my dog chase it around. And I really just doubled down, got disciplined with learning the routine, how to do it safely, effectively, and achieve clients' goals. And a lot of that has come through on the job experience in recent years.
wow. I love it. I love it. Now, who works with you? Do you operate alone or no? It's a team of you.
I have a team of good friends. I
Good.
mentioned Jason. He is
Yes.
one of my partners. I also got my cousin Brian. Shout out to Brian for getting his license and fulfilling projects. He's expected to do one for me this Friday for another content creator that's collaborating with the MLB. And this is supposed to be at Rockefeller State Park. So while we're tied up with the music festival, I'm actually also double booked because that morning I'll be in North Salem filming in a promotion for a nonprofit animal sanctuary. That opportunity came
Oh,
to me first, so I felt obligated to follow through on that promise. But thankfully, with a great network of people and with professional skills, I'm able to distribute more projects as we continue to scale, and we can fulfill all of our clients' needs. So everybody wins.
Amazing. And I just gotta just dive in a little further back. Do you credit in your life, who has influenced you to be the man you are today, to start your own business like this, take an amazing risk? Do you have a mentor, someone that you look up to?
I have to credit my mom, honestly. She is, for the most part, a single mom who raised three kids and worked long, hard hours, but always believed in integrity and still does. She really gives me her vote of confidence,
Aw.
and encourages me to take these risks and pursue these opportunities to really try and find a fulfilling career path. So, don't think I could have done it without her. She's a role model that inspires me. And there's a lot of other people I'd like to thank, but she's certainly the first that comes to mind. I owe you, Mom.
Oh, beautiful. Thanks for sharing that. I think family is so important, and I love that you give mom all the credit she deserves. What's her first name?
Karen.
Karen, we love you. Thank you so much for raising this amazing boy. She must be so proud. Now, does mom have a particular like favorite of some of the work that that you show? And by the way, on your social media page, you're very active. So, what is like mom's favorite thing that you've done so far? Because it's always cool to impress the parents.
That's a good question. Anything involving maybe my dog, just the earlier stuff,
Oh,
but
mm-hmm.
she was very supportive of the marathon work we did. She knows I love concerts, so obviously very thrilled for me to do that. Anything that's benevolent, supporting nonprofits, and we got away to Lake George, a little family vacation the other week, which is a solid family destination. We all love it, and just seeing that location from an aerial view, especially at the golden hour in the morning, I think she was a big fan of it.
Where did you stay, by the way? I'm just curious. I love there's that beautiful Sagamore Hotel up there, and there's like
So
the
yeah, we would normally stay at the Days Inn growing up, which was a bit
yeah,
more south, but they
totally.
went away and we actually found through an Airbnb the Sundowner Motel, which is right on the water. Everybody was able to get their own room, thank God, because we'd have been at each other's throats. But just being able to walk to my car and pull the kayak down to the water, get some shots right there, was very convenient and scenic.
Oh, beautiful. Well, that's amazing. Well, we still have 7 minutes left of the show. I know we got a
Great.
late start. What else about your work do you want to share?
Um, So yesterday was interesting. It's a very tough time this summer working with the FAA, but I have to give them credit where it's due. They've been very responsive, at least for when I've been submitting inquiries. So I had a project in the Hamptons. It was on behalf of an environmental engineering firm that worked on the South Fork Wind Project. So that wind farm that's located off the South Shore, they have a cable that runs onshore, and we're supposed to be
Mm-hmm.
filming the substation for them. We weren't really able to follow through despite submitting an application with the FAA 5 weeks ago. It's mainly due to that airport being untowered and just very hard to get a hold of, get the approvals through in time. So ultimately, it did fall through. The client was understanding as it wasn't something we could really do about, but the Hamptons, being the destination that it is, experiences a high volume of summer air traffic, and now we need to
Yeah.
regroup and maybe look into September to fulfilling that project when the airport goes out of season. But they've also been very supportive with getting other approvals. They have automatic networks in place to typically give you it right away. And most recently, I just submitted my application for an operations over people waiver,
Oh,
which is new.
what's
It's
that?
so this is a waiver that allows you to fly drones over people or moving vehicles. Currently, there's a system in place where if the drone weighs more than 250 grams, it is considered overweight and could pose a risk to people. If you put the proper safety mitigations or risk mitigations in place and demonstrate that you can fly safely, they will grant you a waiver. So, particularly for the equipment I'm using, we
Okay.
need to have propeller guards, strobe light so it's identifiable in the air. And most recently, they released a parachute. So, in the
Oh,
event that it does free fall, it'll sustain itself and do a gentle landing. So, with that, I think it's going to open up a world of opportunity, particularly in New York City, which is such a key area for work now that the NYPD has put a permitting process in place for us to continue to take on bigger opportunities, but address the risks as well.
Beautiful. And you're also teaching too. Don't you teach this as well? Where do you teach?
Yes. So it's primarily online right now. The
Okay.
program is called Aerial Advantage Academy. I'm still building it into my website because I do have partners I work with. It's facilitated typically online or in person by two people, the teacher, i.e., myself, and a moderator. We walk you through all the subject areas you need to know to pass the exam. And we also incorporate virtual training through a simulator and in person hands on training in the event that we get to deliver an instructor led in class program. So we're really thrilled about that. I'm also in talks with a local town municipality to help develop some policy on the local level. So I'm hoping they engage me as a consultant in the coming weeks.
Amazing. All right. Well, we still have 3 minutes left. How did you
All
kind of
right.
want to sum up today's show, or what other information do you want to provide for us?
I would just say to anyone watching or listening, we are excited to take on new opportunities. We encourage you to reach out and seek licensed professionals to do this sort of work. The industry is going to continue to grow. DJI did not get blacklisted on the most recent National Defense Authorization Act. So we are good to go while still flying the equipment we have. And with New York City being a possibility, we're working on getting a billboard, some greater advertising out there. And Jill, it's been a little bit since we last spoke. Next time we should talk about this cathedral I got to work on 34th Street.
But
They
tell me
installed it.
quickly. You got to tell me quickly now. You can't just leave me hanging.
So this was for St. Barton's Armenian Cathedral on 34th and 2nd.
Wow.
They had a new cross installed on the top of their dome. The whole building is covered in, what is it, scaffolding and grading. So we got our permit, we were able to fly on site, and we got that installation covered. Now we're in talks with the church to create 3D models of the property for digital preservation, as well as flying interior work to showcase the main hall of the church.
Wow, this is beautiful. And these are things I want to see on our next Zoom. Yeah, you better be able to show me because that is so cool. Oh my goodness, seeing is believing. And wow, the work you're doing, obviously you can be reached. I mean, I love you just Google your name, you pop up. Tell us again the website, social media pages, and how we can contact you directly, please.
You got it. It's www.dreamscapeaerials.com. Check us out on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, probably in that order in terms of how much we use them, at dreamscape_aerials. And for any other inquiries, you can submit a request describing your job on our website, or you can give me a call directly at 631-645-7596.
Awesome, Joseph. Thanks so much. Pleasure getting to see you today,
You
speak with you
too.
here, and looking forward to the next time we connect. Thanks again.
See you around, Jill.
Bye bye. To all of our listeners, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.